Group, just a second covering the top 10 riders, and a faller towards the second half of the group as they make their way through, and that's always one of those perils of the early laps of Asia Talent Couple that we lost from that group. That's now confirmed on the screen. So Kanta Hamada, who has fallen there on the right hander.
Yeah, and easily done down in towards turn 10. We saw
race distance that those of you familiar with the World SBK paddock will used to be seeing for Supersport 300 as Hamada stalks his way away from the incident. This time we get to see it, and it's exactly as I suggested, a bit of bumping and boring there in towards turn 10. Yeah,
and it looks like he just might have gotten a bit of a punt from behind and helped into that exit, but for Hamada it's not going to make too much difference. He knows he's down and out, and he's got 3 races left for this weekend, though 3 races.
Well, your race leader pulling away out in front, or attempting to, and we've got Hurley and Dandy there who has gone down, and that looks like being in the second sector of lap number. And I think we're going to see what happens here.
Yeah, keep an eye on the number 21, just runs wide through those last couple of corners. You can see fairly high curbs there on the entry to that corner as well, and then gets caught out just trying to get the gas a little bit too early, and that's what costs him.
Third position.
Yeah, still going to have a bit of ground to make up in that position, and that looks like well, another rider's gone down. It looks like it's down at turn 10, and we've seen a bit of action down there all the way through the running so far.
I think that's to Timon, who has gone down on lap 8 of 16. So the Thai rider who was on the fringes of the points, who was in that 5-way battle, and we're going to see the incident perhaps here, and it's going to be 2 riders involved. That's a straightforward situation of Timon, who has gone down and collected Turaki Buapa, I think that is, who was alongside him, and he has now remounted to continue on in the race, but clearly out of contention when you're in a pack race like that one. And that group has now become a 6-rider group instead of the 8 or so who were all involved.
Yeah, it is starting to split up a little bit, and the reason for that is you've got to try and make those attacks, and you can see there for both of those riders on the run down into 10. For Buapa, he was at least...
For Daniel Sharil, a new personal best for Sharil last time around. He's just come across the line. That's Hongo who's gone down, coming off the final turn. So Hongo, who was one of the riders in the fourth...
onto the track as well in the exit there. The second part of the group, the riders have to push on because they're seeing it start to split out, and yeah, he just runs out onto the green paint, and there is that bit of a kick off the curb there for him. You can see there the
level of the curve certainly different to the level of the track and the asphalt surface around the curve. I was saying earlier on, Steve, when we were watching free practice in Superbikes, we saw Jonathan Ray at one point come down off a curb and get all unsettled by it. These curves do seem to be particularly high here in Indonesia. This is a new venue, and we're talking about smoothing out the final sector as we switch back to the battles further down the order. Well, they've switched at just the right time. They're making a lunge down the inside. I think that might have been of Aditama, and both of them have gone down and into the gravel trap, and Deo looks Aditama looks none too pleased with Deo there after that ambitious move down the inside. Another incident at turn 10.
Yeah, and for Aditama that was out of 6th position, and
for Osato, 0.4 of a second up ahead of Sharil, who's got in front of Mie and made a 0.3 of a second advantage.
Yeah, and you can see there Aditama there on the number 3 going down, and again, like you said, Alex, another move into turn 10. It's easy to be a little bit ambitious on the run into there.
Championship point. Sharil then 0.2 further down, and we've got a fall, and is that Danish? Yes, it is. It's Danish who's gone down in his fight with Carter Thompson. Last time over the line he was in front, I think, of Thompson in the battle for 4th place. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, keep an eye in the background, and you're going to see for Danish, just tries to be a little bit aggressive through that last corner, trying to make sure he's able to close up on Carter Thompson to set up a move on the final lap.